What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Project Ozone 2 Kappa Mode. Oh yeah, guys, so last episode we were working towards getting the Wand of Animation, right? So the Wand of Animation, this thing, is an extreme crafting recipe. Yep. And it does require a whole lot of different things like these Vibrantium ingots and soul crystals, demon steel the 11th. That's gonna be crazy to do. Like all this different stuff. It requires these infinity ingots, which require these infinity catalysts. Yeah, so this is what we're kind of working on right now. We need, I think it was 44 for these infinity ingots. I think it's 11 per ingot, and then we need one more for this. So the infinity catalyst here requires a whole lot of different things. We worked on the ultimate stew last time, but we did not work on these cosmic meatballs. I was just looking at the quest line, the progression here. And it does show that after Neutronium, we were supposed to do meatballs first, the cosmic meatballs, but we did the primeval brew, the ultimate stew. Doesn't really matter. These are both retrieval tasks. So what we need to do is start working on this, and then when this one's unlocked, we can just put one of these in our inventory, and that will complete the quest, right? So the cosmic meatballs, this is our goal for today. So let's start working on this. Cosmic meatballs. So to make a cosmic meatball, we need a pile of neutrons. We have that already auto-crafted. Well, I guess auto-collecting or whatever. We need raw beef, raw chicken, raw pork chop, raw fish, raw imp hide, raw meat ingots, and finally raw mutton. So all these raw things turn into these cosmic meatballs. Did those ever get cooked at any point? I'm not really sure. Those all uncooked? I guess it all is. Unless the neutron somehow cooks it. So let's come down here. So on this crafting, I guess this dire crafting table, we were doing the ultimate stew. I think we're going to set this one up for the cosmic meatballs. We're going to set this one up for the other crazy things like these singularities. And then finally, this one over here, I started working on filling out everything for the infinity catalyst, everything that we can do at this point that has EMC or that we already have. For instance, Ludicrate block we can make, and it does have EMC, but we haven't made it yet, so I didn't fill that in. Also, I noticed that this requires Vibrantium blocks. Remember the Vibrantium ingots? Yeah, that's 2 villagers per ingot, right? We need 9 ingots per block. We need a lot of these, so 44, 45 blocks. That's a lot of villagers. So I told the system earlier, I have this going, or maybe I finished up. I had the system going earlier where I was making all these things. I've been AFK for a little while, so it might have... Oh no, it's not all the way done. But yeah, I put 8 stacks of villagers and 8 stacks of the soul vials in there, and I guess it's gone through quite a number of these things. Take a look. Yeah, it's got like 40 remaining over here. It's still working, right? Yeah, it looks like things are happening. Okay, so let's go and look at the Enticing Crystals. Okay, so we're at 704. I think I needed something like 800 of these. So I'll probably set that up to happen again. We don't have to worry about that right this second because we still got a lot of other things going on at the moment. So cosmic meatballs, let's get this going. I think raw beef, can we not craft that from cow essence? We can. Okay, so we can just craft that. We don't have to worry about anything like that. These we already have set up in the last millennium. Yeah, we have 106,000 of those on tap, so we can do that. Oh, you know what? This reminds me. I did automate our HOP stuff. I was talking about how we're gonna need more of that stuff. So yeah, I just went ahead and just set up the automation for this off camera. It wasn't really that difficult. So we just have a interface here that is doing 64 coal coke will equal 64 coke dust. That's being ejected into this chest, and then the chest is extracting and putting it into this open crate and then down. Kind of similar to what we did over here for our pressure chamber. Yeah, so we have the interface on the chest is putting the stuff in there, and that's dropping down onto this, and then that gets warped inside. So very similar in concept. I did this because we need the items dropped into this thing, right? So I don't know, I didn't try putting the interface directly on this. Maybe you could just push them in there, but I know dropping it in there works, so that's the way I went with. This extracts the items, or I guess it pushes the completed items into this interface here, right? So that goes back into the ME system. And then we have an interface here, which is set for 64 coke dust equals 8 HOP graphite dust. Yeah, So it takes 8 of the coke dust to turn into 1 HOP. So a full stack turns into 8 of those. And then on the back here, we're extracting out. This machine does not auto push the items out. So we're extracting out into an interface. Yep. And then that completes the dust portion of that. And finally, the very last step here, our extreme. Our extreme furnace is taking the HOP graphite dust and turning that into the graphite ingots, right? Okay, so we have the full automation set up for the HOP stuff. Yeah, so I thought we were going to turn those machines or tear them back down or whatever, but no, we still are going to need this, and I want that auto-craftable because we'll probably need a lot of that. So anyway, simple automation. We've already seen all those different pieces before. So yeah, I just went ahead and I hooked that up off camera for that. But yeah, like I said, pretty much everything else here is things we've already collected or things that have EMC. Flame string is not one thing that has EMC, but we have collected those. There's going to be a few things in here that we're going to have to get working on in order to get that whole recipe set up. But for right now, let's get back to our cosmic meatballs. So we want to set up a recipe for raw beef. Let's do that. So there is a pattern for that. We need a recipe for raw chicken. I believe we have chicken essence, right? 106,000 of that. Yeah, we set those up a long time ago. Okay, so now we can make the raw chicken. We need raw pork chop. Oops, let's do this. Okay. Pig essence. Yeah, just making sure. I don't remember if I set these all up. I think I did for all of those. So fish is a one that we cannot set up an auto craft for. This is one we're gonna have to EMC. Do we have fish in the system? We have a few of these, and does that convert? Yeah, that converts back into fish too. But since we already had one raw fish, I'm not sure where we got that one from. Let's go ahead and EMC that. Perfect. All right, I don't think we're gonna need more than that anytime soon. Oh, okay. I gotta do this in a weird way. My magnet's on, that's also messing with it. So drop those on the ground, do this, then I can pick those up and put those all back in the system. Okay, so no, raw fish, taken care of. Raw imp hide. Okay, so how are we doing on imp hide? We have 61 of those, and that is EMC again. So we will just make a few stacks of this stuff. We won't have to worry about that again. I don't know if we're gonna set up a thing to auto make some of these. We might do that, like fish and imp hide so far, and maybe the mutton. Yeah, there is no craft for that, but it is EMCable. So we might set up like a few of our MK2 chests to make those, just so we always have those on hand. All right, so imp hide. Let's go ahead and put those in my inventory, drop those on the ground, grab those out of there. There we go, and then put those all in the system again. Cool. All right, so that's done. Meat ingots, this is not something that we have done yet. And then raw mutton, do we have those? We have one. That must have been from when we set up that grassy patch a while ago and we did the trap thing or whatever where we were putting the bait in there. I think. Not sure. That must be the only time we've gotten this mutton. That's the only thing I can think of. Okay, so we got that. Okay, all that's out of there. Oh, come on. I hate it when you do that. You like try and double click things into the system or whatever and it drops it all on the ground. I'm not sure what causes that. So you just did it again. Is it like when you click and then move your mouse as you're clicking it? I'm not really sure what causes that, but it's super frustrating. All right, so we have everything here. Neutrons, we already have 59,000 of those. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Okay, so meat ingots. This is the thing that we need to start working on. So to make meat ingots, we can take raw meat nuggets and convert it. We can take a raw meat block and convert it, or we can take a meat packer with 100 millibuckets, I guess a tenth of a bucket of liquid meat, and turn that into an ingot. I think that's probably what we're going to end up doing. So we need a way to start farming meat ingots. Yep. That's what we need to do. So we should already have meat in the system from when we made pink slime a long time ago. Now this drum does say that it has EMC, but if you were to copy this, it would just make the drum with no fluid in it. So there's no point in doing that. Okay, so we have a meat drum. We already have some liquid meat in there, so that might get us by. I think every bucket is 10, so that'd be 270 ingots worth. But we will want to set up some kind of automation for that. So let's look at doing a meat packager. I don't think we've made one of those, right? Yeah, there's nothing in the system that says meat packager on it. So that is bricks, machine chassis, redstone, plastic, and fire water. Have we made fire water? You know what? We did make this fire water before, but I converted all of that into liquid sunshine. So we do need more fire water. So we have a vat. Let's grab blaze and redstone. In fact, do we need 2 of those? One for hooch? You know what? We're just going to do it the other way. Drum. I think we're just going to make a full drum. Oops, I need 2 of those. A full drum of the hooch. Let's double check this again. Yeah, full drum of hooch, and then we will make a full drum of fire water off of that. The hooch is made from apple and sugar, potato and sugar. Okay, potatoes we have a lot of, and those get auto refilled because of our EMC chests in the last millennium. And then sugar, like so. Okay, so this is pretty simple. We did this a few episodes ago, and this is just going to be a temporary automation thing. So drum, actually this needs to be water, right? So we'll grab an infinite water source to push water into here. All right, we need a Tesseract for power. It's already set up. Good. This has got power going into it. Good. So to make the hooch, once again, that is potato, sugar, water. That's it. Okay. So potato, sugar, we have water in there. It's doing its thing. That should start automatically outputting. Maybe I'll have to tell this thing to output. Push. I was like clicking on all the wrong sides there. My goodness. Learn to use your mouse, guy. Okay. So yeah, that's all pushing out. So once this is done, we made all of this stuff. I'll dump the water out, then I'll take this, the hooch, put it back over here, convert it over to fire water, and then we'll be ready to go. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so we went ahead and we made a drum with 64 buckets of water in there. Or I guess 64 buckets of fire water. I should clarify. Yeah, we had a full stack of each of the different materials, so we made a stack, or I guess a 64 buckets of hooch, and that turned into 64 buckets of fire water. We needed 1 bucket to make the meat packer, so we used the 1 bucket here, so we have 63 remaining in this drum for later, should we ever need it. Okay, so now that we got the meat packer, we have meat. We need to start getting this thing set up so it's automatically going to make our meat ingots. So in the last millennium, I've been doing some work off camera here. Last episode, we set up the crazy automation thing so we could make ultimate stews, right? We have like all of this stuff set up, all of these energy condenser MK2s, and they are making all of the different ingredients that we can automate over here. The rest of the stuff, those natura berries, they're being automated at the end of that road way over there. So yeah, everything for our ultimate stew is being auto-crafted. I put one right here, kind of like as a label to remind us what this is, because maybe later on down the road we won't know. Anyway, you can place items in the world using Draconic Evolution, and I placed it here. It's kind of a cool little label instead of putting a sign or whatever, right? So I just made another area here. It's similar to what we did over there, except much smaller, right? So we are currently making raw fish, chicken, pork chop, and beef, imp hide, and mutton, all through EMC. Since those are EMCable, even though, yeah, we made a whole large number of those, I figured let's just go ahead and automate this. I really don't know how many cosmic meatballs we will need in the future, and I never really want to have to mess with making all these different items again, even though we set up the crafting patterns and stuff. Yeah, I just figured let's just keep it all the same. We'll keep using EMC. I think this is going to be much better. So this is all the stuff for that we can automate through EMC. If we go back to this, yeah, we need the meat ingots. That's the part of this that we cannot make aside from the pile of neutrons, which we're just collecting automatically right now. So one of these recipes makes 2. So it's like a full stack of each one of these ingredients makes a full stack of meatballs, or I guess half a stack of those. Anyway, so we need to get our raw meat ingots being made. So we have a meat packer, we have a meat drum. We need a way to automate collecting the liquid meat. which means we need some kind of a slaughterhouse setup over here as well. So since I want to try and keep everything contained, I think we're going to set up some kind of a miniature mob farm here. I don't know what we're going to use. Maybe cows or something. I think I saw, if we look at, is it this? There was something I was looking at. Maybe if we look at meat, liquid meat. We click on this. Yeah, okay. So you hover over this. It says larger animals produce more meat. So we'd probably want cows or sheep as opposed to like pigs or chickens, right? Probably cows would be fine. So that will produce pink slime, which we can just get rid of. We don't care about that. Meat is a thing that we do care about. So I think what we can do is set up some kind of a spawner, which will spawn these in until we get a drum full of this stuff, and probably use the comparator to say, hey, we're full or we're almost full. Stop spawning in animals until we need more, right? That way this thing isn't going all the time. I think that's something that we're going to do. So we could set up a Draconic Evolution stabilized spawner. We'll probably want something like that. Let's get a slaughterhouse. We should have one of those from before. Yeah, slaughterhouse here. We need some kind of a area that we're gonna warp the animals to. I don't know where we're gonna do this. We might just set this up something like this here and then have them warp right here. And then all of the stuff will, well, I guess the liquid will be produced and then turn into ingots here and then go into one of these drawers. I think that might be how we do this. So let's grab our meat drum and our meat packer here. Let's grab some clear glass or quite clear glass. Okay, so since we're warping the animals here, we really don't have to go crazy with any of this stuff. We just need like a 3x3 area hollow in the center here for the animals to be warped into. Something like that is probably going to be perfect, right? So the slaughterhouse does have these fluids, so we need to pipe out of that. Let's grab some ender fluid conduits. All right. Something like this should be fine. I don't really know how these work, because I would like having the pink slime go into like the void. So I would like a liquid trash can. So pretty much what I'd like to do is have our meat drum here that's always getting filled. I don't think there's a priority on these liquids, is there? There is no priority. This is going to be insert. Yeah, there is no priority. We can whitelist, I guess. But I don't know how this works. If I put a liquid trash can here, since there's nowhere for the pink slime to go, it'll go to the trash can. But does the meat always go to this drum, or does it sometimes go to the trash can as well? This is stuff that I don't know. I guess since this is filterable, we could filter only whitelist into the trash can for the pink slime. I guess that's how we'll do it. I think that'll be fine. Okay, so we got that figured out. So we need this to go into the meat packer. How do we want to do that? I guess we'll put the meat packer here. We will do this into there. Okay, this is going to make meat ingots, and I think that places it into a chest that is attached. So we could put a chest right here, extract out, and then put it into there. I think that might be what we do. I might end up rearranging this a little bit to make it look cleaner or nicer. But for right now, all I care about is that the functionality is here. Let's also grab a fluid trash can. Did that make it? There it is. Do we have pink slime? We have pink slime here, because I'm going to want a thing to set a filter. All right, let me grab, I don't know, what do we do, a bucket? A bucket of pink slime to set a filter, so we only put pink slime into the fluid trash can. We put that right there. I guess that should be fine. So we do insert, and we will put this right there. Yeah, that's what we want to do. We can get rid of this guy. Perfect. And this will be filtering on the liquid meat. I don't think we need to put a filter there, but I'll go ahead and do that anyway. Like so. Okay, so there we go. Meat's going this way. Slime, we're just getting rid of. We don't need that anymore. We spawned in so many of those pink slimes previously. We have 11,000 pink slime blocks. So that means 11,000 of these pink slime crystals if we smelt them, right? Yeah, so we don't really have to worry about that. Also, we have the mob souls, so if we need to spawn in more pink slimes, we can definitely do that. Okay, so Slaughterhouse is gonna work. We need to set up the spawner. So I need to go get myself a cow soul. I don't think we have one. We have a pigment soul. We have pixie souls, pink slime souls. Yeah, no cow souls. You know what? Have I ever tried a villager? Will a villager work in this? Not that I really want to do that, but does a villager get slaughterhoused? Does this have power? It does have energy. It says it's idle. Let's see if it works on the villager. No, it doesn't. Okay, so we will have to do some animals. I guess what I'll do is I'll go to the mining world. I'm just gonna use my staff here. Hopefully we'll be able to find a cow pretty quickly and then get the soul, well, I guess groups of cows pretty quickly and get the souls from them. So I'm just gonna poke some cows here. Hopefully we'll get that. Yep, let me continue doing this and we'll be back, guys. Alright guys, so very quickly after I ended that last clip, we got one cow soul, so let's put that over here. We're going to replace our Enderman soul. We have plenty of the stuff from the Endermans already happening. So yeah, our Enderman soul has been replaced. I want to get a few of these cow souls in case I have to move something or whatever. So we need this dislocator thing, put right there. Cool, and then we can turn this on and start spawning cows and hopefully collecting some more cow souls. That's what we want. We don't have drawers here for all the stuff that we're gonna be collecting. Okay, cool. So there's 2 more cow souls. I'll just let this go for a little bit longer until we get a decent amount of these things. We don't need a crazy amount. But yeah, just in case I need to move it around or something like that. Cool. All right, so let's go set up the portal in, or I guess the spawner in the last millennium so we could do something like this, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I did a little bit of wiring here, trying to get some things hooked up. So we really want to stop this whole process. We don't want any more cows being spawned if we have too much meat, the liquid meat, in our meat drum. So I put a comparator on here, which does work, and we can kind of see this working right now. So right now, the redstone signal is on, and if I make this... Okay, so this is at a signal of 1, pretty much. So if we're above... signal of 1, then it's going to send a redstone signal down, stop the spawner. So if we bring this up, yeah, to 3, you can see now that it's off, and that'd be spawning because we don't have enough stuff in there. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring this up to, I don't know, like 10 or something. This doesn't have to be completely full, just, you know, mostly full, right? So I think about 2/3 of the way full should be pretty good for having that stuff on hand. So that'll start spawning in the cows because the redstone signal is no longer on. So that goes down under here. If I hold the wrench, you can see the redstone cable kind of goes down here and touches the spawner. Now the spawner, I didn't put any upgrades in except for the golden apple and the nether star. So those those make it so I don't have to be here. And it also makes it so it ignores the spawn requirements because cows normally need grass to spawn on, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe that only affects light level. I'm not sure. But anyway, I put both of those in there because we have the stuff on hand, so it doesn't really matter. And then on the bottom of this chest, we have item conduit, which is going to be extracting the meat ingots over here into our controller, the same place that those chests over here are putting the stuff into. We're kind of running a little tight on room down there, so I put those in the floor, running it through with some conduit facades. It's fine. Not a big deal. I have not tested the Mead Packager thing, so let's start doing that. Let's just say always active. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we want this to be... insert, and we want this to be extract. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Click the thing, extract, always active. That's what we want to do. Okay, so that is going to start making meat ingots over here. Another thing we want is a Tesseract. Slap that guy right there. Okay, so now we have power. Okay, so we're full of meat. We are currently making meat ingots. Those meat ingots are filling up over here. Easy. So now let's go ahead and put the cow soul in here and make sure everything's working. I did set this thing, so if I go through here, yeah, we end up right in this little area facing this direction. So the cow should do the same thing no matter where they spawn. This is 9x9 on the inside, so I don't think cows are going to end up around the outside of this thing, although I could glass this all the way up and make it completely enclosed just in case. But anyway, let's put our cow soul in here. So it's not going to spawn them super fast. If we need them faster, we can always put in the upgrades to make them go faster. I really don't think that's going to be a big deal because I don't think the slaughterhouse will kill the cows very fast either. So let's also, yeah, we're going to need, yeah, there we go. Nice. So it's doing stuff. We're going to need power over here as well. Let me grab an energy conduit. Or actually, I guess we can just slap a Tesseract right on top. Replace the glass with the Tesseract. That should be just fine. Yeah, we'll just do this. Tesseracts don't really matter anymore, so we don't have to be like super conservative with them. Okay, so that has power, pink slime, meat. Yep, everything is working correctly. So now we just got to make sure that this is going to fill this all the way up and then stop. We could put the upgrades in there to see. I guess that's the thing we could do. Yep, that is making the liquid meat quite quickly, so that's all right. All right, so the other thing that I want to do is put a meat ingot right here, so it's got a place to go. These should start getting extracted out. Filling this up so there's 512 in here eventually. Yeah, I think this will all just be fine. We'll just let it go and we'll have this stuff over time. This is all chunk loaded as well. I did make sure we have spot loaders here. We don't have to worry about that. Yep, everything should be perfectly chunk loaded. And then, yeah, this is right at the edge of the border, which I don't think really matters at all. All right, I think we're good to go here. All right, guys, so after all of that work, we have all the things together so we can make ourselves some cosmic meatballs. This will make 2 stacks of them, which is pretty cool, so let's go and do that. That should complete our quest for just having those on us, and then we can also grab the ultimate stew to complete the following quest. Grab one of those. Oop. Quest updated meatballs. Is this going to do the other one now, or? Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, so retrieval task, cosmic meatballs complete. We will claim this, and this one we will claim as well. Loot chest, nice. So 2 of those quests are now completed. Next quest coming up is going to be the Endist Pearl. That's another, let's take a look at this, Endist. Yeah, that's another item that is part of this recipe as well. So the Endist Pearl is made with some neutronium ingots, nether stars, ender pearls, and then some end stone, right? So that's not bad. This item does have EMC, so this will probably be a thing that we set up similar to like the other things, the other recipes for EMC, just because, yeah, automating this, why would you want to do that? You can just convert things that you are collecting already into EMC, right? All right, so anyway, cosmic meatballs. So we still got a ways to go to get this thing completely filled out. We're still waiting on the neutronium ingots so we can make the eternal singularities. We need all the neutronium compressors for all of these different ones. It might be a case where we just, you know, set it up to do a stack of each one and just use like 1 or 2 of these compressors and then automate it later. I'm not really sure how we're going to do that. But for right now, let's go back to the last millennium with one of our cosmic meatballs. And we will put our label down in front of this area over here. I did, by the way, add in the wyvern upgrade. I don't want going full speed because, yeah, that slaughterhouse just won't keep up. But it seems to keep up fine with just the wyvern core on there. So hit P. That's what I have mine mapped to. And we can left click this to turn it. Perfect. Nice. All right, let's also open up our loot chest here. So we have a disc and a jukebox, and we get heavy aluminum wire and aluminum wire. Both of those things aren't things that we really care too much about. All right, all of this stuff. Cool. All right, so these cows are just going to keep spawning in. Like I said, this thing's going to get full, probably, you know, 175 buckets worth or something, and then it'll shut off. Yep, everything's going to be pretty awesome. We'll always be able to have those cosmic meatballs. Well, over here, we'll always be able to have our ultimate stew. Yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.